In the preface of 12 Rules for Life, Jordan B. Peterson describes the challenges he faced while writing the book, including his struggle with depression and anxiety. He argues that life is inherently difficult, and that the best way to confront these challenges is to cultivate a sense of meaning and purpose. Peterson encourages readers to take responsibility for their lives and to strive for excellence in all aspects of their being. He emphasizes the importance of adopting a growth mindset and developing resilience in the face of adversity. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life are intended to provide practical guidance for individuals seeking to improve their lives. The rules include a variety of advice, from stand up straight with your shoulders back to tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Each rule is accompanied by a discussion of its underlying principles, as well as personal anecdotes and references to literature, mythology, and philosophy. Overall, the preface sets the stage for the book and introduces Peterson's central ideas, including the importance of taking responsibility, pursuing meaning, and developing resilience. It highlights the practical nature of the book and suggests that readers can benefit from the insights and advice contained within its pages. Chapter 1: Stand Up Straight with Your Shoulders Back. In Chapter 1, Peterson argues that humans are hierarchical creatures, and that our behavior is shaped by our position within social hierarchies. He asserts that we can improve our standing within these hierarchies by adopting confident body language, such as standing up straight with our shoulders back. Peterson uses lobsters as an example of hierarchical creatures and explains that their behavior is influenced by the serotonin levels in their brains. The lobsters with higher levels of serotonin are more likely to win battles and move up the social hierarchy. Similarly, humans can improve their standing within social hierarchies by adopting confident body language, which can increase the level of serotonin in their brains. Peterson also suggests that standing up straight with our shoulders back can help us confront the challenges and difficulties of life. He argues that adopting a posture of confidence can make us more resilient and better able to handle stress and adversity. The chapter provides practical advice on how to adopt confident body language, including tips on posture, breathing, and facial expressions. Peterson encourages readers to pay attention to their body language and to consciously adopt a confident posture, even if they do not feel confident at first. Overall, Chapter 1 highlights the importance of body language in shaping our behavior and our position within social hierarchies. It provides practical advice on how to adopt a confident posture, which can increase our resilience and help us confront the challenges of life. Before we continue, we would like to inform you that we release these summaries in audio format on Spotify before we release them on YouTube in video format, with subtitles. We have also created a goldmine of information which you can get exclusive access to by supporting us on Patreon. You get in-depth summaries plus scripts, usually twice the length of our YouTube content, a list of the top 20 key takeaways and exercises, summary requests, and more. Thank you for the support and don't forget to hit the like button. Chapter 2: Treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. Chapter 2 emphasizes the importance of self-care and treating oneself with the same care and concern as one would show to someone else. Peterson argues that we often neglect our own well-being, putting others' needs before our own and failing to prioritize our own health and happiness. Peterson encourages readers to take responsibility for their own lives and to prioritize self-care by adopting good habits such as getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, and exercising regularly. He also suggests that we need to pay attention to our inner dialogues and to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion, just as we would treat a friend who is struggling. The chapter provides practical tips for self-care, including developing good sleep habits, eating a healthy diet, and incorporating exercise into our daily routines. Peterson also suggests that we need to be mindful of the negative self-talk that can undermine our self-esteem and well-being. Overall, Chapter 2 emphasizes the importance of self-care and encourages readers to prioritize their own well-being. It provides practical advice on how to develop good habits and treat oneself with kindness and compassion. By taking responsibility for our own lives and treating ourselves with care and concern, we can improve our overall health and happiness. Chapter 3: Make friends with people who want the best for you. In Chapter 3, Peterson stresses the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences by making friends with people who want the best for you. Peterson argues that our relationships have a significant impact on our lives and that it is essential to choose our friends wisely. Peterson suggests that the people we choose to spend time with should be supportive and encouraging, and should inspire us to be our best selves. He also argues that it is important to avoid toxic relationships that can undermine our well-being and hold us back. The chapter provides practical advice on how to cultivate positive relationships, including tips on how to identify people who genuinely care about us and how to set boundaries with those who do not. Peterson also encourages readers to take responsibility for their own actions and to be a positive influence on others. Overall, Chapter 3 emphasizes the importance of surrounding oneself with positive influences by making friends with people who want the best for us. It provides practical advice on how to cultivate positive relationships and avoid toxic ones. By choosing our friends wisely and being a positive influence on others, we can improve our lives and the lives of those around us. Chapter 4 Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Chapter 4 emphasizes the importance of focusing on personal growth and progress rather than comparing oneself to others. Peterson argues that constantly comparing ourselves to others can be detrimental to our mental health and self-esteem, and can prevent us from making progress towards our own goals and aspirations. Peterson suggests that we should focus on improving ourselves each day and measure our progress based on our own achievements and growth, rather than comparing ourselves to others. He argues that this mindset can help us cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment, and can lead to greater success and happiness in the long run. The chapter provides practical advice on how to focus on personal growth and progress, including tips on setting achievable goals, tracking progress, and developing good habits. Peterson also encourages readers to take responsibility for their own lives and to make the most of their unique talents and abilities. Overall, Chapter 4 emphasizes the importance of focusing on personal growth and progress, rather than comparing oneself to others. It provides practical advice on how to cultivate a growth mindset and measure progress based on personal achievements and growth. By taking responsibility for our own lives and focusing on personal growth, we can improve our mental health and well-being and achieve greater success and fulfillment. Chapter 5 Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Chapter 5 discusses the importance of parenting and the impact that parenting styles can have on a child's development. Peterson argues that parents must establish clear boundaries and rules for their children, while also providing them with love, support, and guidance. The chapter provides practical advice on how to become a better parent, including tips on setting clear boundaries, communicating effectively with children, and being a good role model. Peterson emphasizes the importance of showing children love and affection, while also teaching them responsibility and accountability. Peterson also discusses the negative consequences that can result from permissive parenting, such as children who lack discipline, respect, and responsibility. He encourages parents to hold their children to high standards and to provide them with the tools they need to succeed in life. Overall, Chapter 5 emphasizes the importance of responsible parenting and the impact that parenting styles can have on a child's development. It provides practical advice on how to establish clear boundaries and rules, communicate effectively with children, and teach them responsibility and accountability. By providing children with love, support, and guidance, while also holding them to high standards, parents can help their children develop into responsible, respectful, and successful individuals. Chapter 6 Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. In Chapter 6, Peterson explains how one can improve the world by first improving themselves. He argues that before criticizing the world, one should take care of their own lives and surroundings. The chapter emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility and the impact it has on society. Peterson advises readers to start by cleaning their living space and organizing their lives, as this can have a positive impact on mental health and motivation. He also suggests reflecting on past experiences and traumas to identify and address personal issues that may be holding one back. Peterson further emphasizes the importance of pursuing a meaningful goal, as it can provide a sense of purpose and direction in life. He suggests focusing on small, manageable goals that can be achieved through consistent effort and dedication. The chapter concludes with a discussion on how personal transformation can inspire others and lead to positive change in the world. Peterson argues that by setting one's own house in order, they can serve as an example for others to follow and contribute to the betterment of society. Chapter 7: Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. In this chapter, Peterson emphasizes the importance of pursuing a meaningful life, rather than just doing what is easy or expedient. He suggests that meaning can be found in taking responsibility, setting goals, and working towards them, rather than just seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. Peterson argues that pursuing what is meaningful requires sacrifice and effort, but that it ultimately leads to a sense of purpose and fulfillment. He advises readers to reflect on what truly matters to them and to set goals that align with their values and aspirations. By doing so, they can overcome the inevitable challenges and setbacks that arise in life. Peterson also warns against the dangers of nihilism and cynicism, which can lead to a sense of despair and hopelessness. Instead, he encourages readers to find meaning in the small actions and moments of daily life, and to take steps towards building a better future for themselves and others. Overall, this chapter emphasizes the importance of pursuing a meaningful life, even in the face of adversity, and offers practical advice for how to do so. Chapter 8: Tell the truth, or, at least, don't lie. In Chapter 8, Peterson emphasizes the importance of telling the truth and not lying. He argues that people should not lie because lies make reality more complex, which can lead to unforeseen negative consequences. Furthermore, lying erodes trust and creates a culture of dishonesty that can undermine individual and collective well-being. Peterson believes that lying is often rooted in fear, and people may lie to avoid conflict or to protect their ego. However, he argues that people should confront their fears and face the truth, no matter how uncomfortable or painful it may be. By doing so, individuals can develop a sense of integrity, and can become more confident in their ability to handle difficult situations. Peterson also suggests that people should be mindful of the language they use, as the words we choose can have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of others. He encourages people to speak honestly and clearly, and to avoid using vague or imprecise language that can obscure the truth. In conclusion, Peterson emphasizes that telling the truth is essential for personal growth, building trust, and creating a better society. While telling the truth can be difficult, it is ultimately a more rewarding and fulfilling way to live. Chapter 9: Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. In Chapter 9, Peterson discusses the importance of listening to others and being precise in one's speech. He argues that people often assume they know what others are thinking or saying, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflict. Therefore, it is crucial to listen to others and assume that they might know something that one doesn't. Peterson also emphasizes the importance of being precise in one's speech. He believes that precise language can clarify one's thoughts and make communication more effective. On the other hand, imprecise language can lead to confusion and miscommunication. Additionally, Peterson suggests that people should take responsibility for their own communication and ensure that their language is clear and accurate. This means that individuals should take the time to choose their words carefully and avoid using language that is vague or ambiguous. Overall, Chapter 9 encourages readers to approach communication with openness and precision, which can lead to better understanding and more productive conversations. Chapter 10: Be precise in your speech. Chapter 10 emphasizes the importance of speaking precisely and meaningfully. The author argues that the words we use not only reflect but also shape our thoughts and attitudes, making it crucial to be precise in our speech. Peterson claims that precise speech is necessary to communicate our thoughts accurately, especially in complex or contentious situations. He also argues that we should avoid using vague or generalizing language, which can be misleading or inflammatory. Instead, we should strive to be clear and specific, using facts, evidence, and logical reasoning to support our claims. The author suggests that we should start by improving our own communication skills, paying attention to the words we use and their impact on others. He also encourages readers to engage in meaningful conversations with others, listening attentively and asking questions to gain a deeper understanding of their perspectives. Peterson believes that being precise in our speech can help us build better relationships, avoid conflicts, and contribute to positive change in the world. Ultimately, he argues that we must take responsibility for our words and their consequences, striving to speak truthfully and with integrity. Chapter 11. Do not bother children while they are skateboarding. In this chapter, Peterson discusses the importance of allowing children to take risks and learn from their mistakes. He argues that overly protective parenting can lead to a lack of resilience in children, and that it is important to allow them to face challenges and develop their own abilities. Peterson uses the example of skateboarding to illustrate his point, as it is an activity that involves risk-taking and learning from failure. He suggests that parents should encourage their children to pursue their interests and passions, even if they involve some degree of risk. At the same time, he emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries and providing guidance to ensure that children are safe and responsible. Peterson also discusses the cultural trend towards protecting children from potentially harmful experiences, which he argues can lead to a lack of personal responsibility and an inability to handle adversity. He suggests that parents and educators should focus on teaching children the skills they need to face challenges and overcome obstacles, rather than shielding them from every possible danger. Overall, Peterson's message in this chapter is that children need opportunities to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them in order to develop resilience and independence. While it is important for parents to provide guidance and set limits, they should also encourage their children to pursue their passions and take on challenges, even if it means facing some level of risk. Chapter 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one in the street. In Chapter 12, Peterson argues that our interactions with animals can teach us important lessons about how to live a meaningful life. Specifically, he uses the act of petting a cat as a metaphor for finding pleasure in the small things in life and taking the time to appreciate them. Peterson notes that, while it may seem trivial to some, the act of petting a cat can bring joy and comfort to both the cat and the person doing the petting. This simple act can help us appreciate the beauty and goodness in the world, even in the midst of chaos and suffering. Peterson also argues that our interactions with animals can teach us important lessons about responsibility, care, and compassion. By taking care of a pet, we learn to put the needs of others before our own and to act with kindness and empathy towards those who are vulnerable. Ultimately, Peterson believes that our interactions with animals can teach us how to live a more meaningful life by reminding us of the importance of finding pleasure and joy in the small things, and by showing us how to act with responsibility, care, and compassion towards others. Conclusion: Moving toward a better future. In 12 Rules for Life, Jordan B. Peterson provides readers with a wealth of advice on how to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. His overarching message is that individuals must take responsibility for their own lives, face their fears and weaknesses, and strive to become better versions of themselves. He encourages readers to seek out order and meaning in their lives, to develop a sense of purpose, and to pursue it relentlessly. Peterson also emphasizes the importance of maintaining a balance between chaos and order, encouraging readers to embrace their creative and exploratory sides while also adhering to structure and discipline. He urges individuals to seek out connections with others, to build relationships based on honesty and respect, and to take responsibility for their actions. Overall, Peterson's message is one of hope and empowerment. He believes that each individual has the potential to create a better future for themselves and for society as a whole by taking control of their own lives and striving to become the best version of themselves. His 12 rules provide practical guidance on how to do so, and his message is one that can benefit anyone seeking to live a more fulfilling life.